Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring Ahri, the nine-tailed fox. Ahri is a mobile mage assassin. Utilizing skill shots, dashes, and clever positioning, Ahri excels at taking out single targets and disrupting the enemy team. Ahri's passive is Soul Eater. Every time one of her spells hits an enemy, she gains stacks of Soul Eater. Once it reaches its cap, her next spell will enjoy significantly increased spell vamp. Orb of Deception fires out Ahri's orb and then pulls it back, dealing magic damage on the way out and true damage on the way back. I take Orb of Deception at level 1 and max it by level 9. Foxfire creates 3 orbiting flames around Ahri. These flames then seek out and damage any nearby enemies who wander too close. Single targets can be hit multiple times, but extra hits deal reduced damage. I take Foxfire at level 4 and max it last. Charm sends out a skill shot nuke that damages and charms the first enemy it hits. Charmed enemies are slowed and walk toward Ahri for a short time. I take Charm at level 2 and max it by level 13. Ahri's ultimate is Spirit Rush. When activated, Ahri dashes toward the cursor and damages 3 nearby enemies. Ahri may dash twice more within a few seconds of first using Spirit Rush before it goes on cooldown. In early laning, I make sure to count the charges on Soul Eater. Once I've capped it out, I use Orb of Deception to hit as large of a minion wave as possible, returning the most health I can. After learning Spirit Rush, I head to gank other lanes. I make the mistake of leading with Charm instead of waiting for a clear shot. However, I Spirit Rush over the wall and then dash away from his turret in case I get locked up inside turret range. Yorick and I take him down and then Skarner appears. I tag him with Orb of Deception and activate Foxfire, walk on top of him, and take him down before retreating with Yorick. As my team sieges the middle turret, I try to poke as much as possible with skill shots. Landing Charm means I get Orb of Deception without any dodging. Again, I keep track of Soul Eater stacks, using Foxfire to trigger the spell vamp for Orb of Deception. Spirit Rush comes back from cooldown and Annie is out of position. I activate Foxfire, Spirit Rush over, fire off Charm, and then immediately Orb of Deception. I use my 2 remaining charges of Spirit Rush to escape Singed. Ahri excels at catching opponents off guard. Here Malzahar is attempting to defend his base, but a quick Spirit Rush into Charm locks him up. I follow with Foxfire into Spirit Rush and a point-blank Orb of Deception for the kill. With my final charge of Spirit Rush, I escape from underneath the turret. Once everyone gets together for the fight, I try to keep my distance and just dish out damage with my basic spells until I notice an opening. Once Lux gets low, I charge in with Spirit Rush twice, turning back to hit Singed and Skarner with Spirit Rush, Foxfire, and Charm. As Singed tries to escape, I flash for Orb of Deception, able to easily clean up Skarner in the resulting 4 versus 1 fight. Our opponents catch us near Baron. I open up on Skarner because I can't assassinate anyone with so many crowd control effects on the enemy team. We're able to kill him rather quickly as I use Spirit Rush not to dive onto enemy champions, but to damage the surrounding enemies, Skarner and Singed. Once Skarner falls, I look to take out squishier targets like Annie, landing Charm and Foxfire to pick up the kill. With most of their team dead, I'm able to play a little bit more aggressively by walking up to Singed for Orb of Deception and Foxfire, killing him. With the fight now 4 versus 1, I leave my team to clean up Lux as I head toward my minion wave to push down the enemy base. On Dominion, Ahri's all-out offense lets you really help your team out in larger fights. As we push onto the windmill, I land skill shots on Tristana and Dr. Mundo, activating Foxfire to help pick up Fizz. With Ignite and Orb of Deception, I wear my opponents down further. After, I decide I can go in for the kill on Tristana. Ghost, Charm, and basic attacks grab the kill, and I escape for a health relic. Once we've actually captured the windmill, Fizz respawns and shows up. I know with my remaining health I can only attempt to interrupt his captures, but once Alistar comes in to help, I try to bait him over. He lunges at us with Playful Trickster, and as soon as Alistar lands Pulverize, I tag him with Charm, allowing Alistar to headbutt him away for a kill underneath our turret. It's important to note that landing skill shots is extremely vital when playing Ahri. I spot Heimerdinger heading in toward the Speed Shrine. I try to lead him with Charm, but he dodges by stopping in place. He dodges Orb of Deception by turning around, but by using Spirit Rush, I hit him with a second half of it. Now out of cooldowns and missing half my spells, I foolishly chase Heimerdinger through his turrets, falling to their damage output and his rockets. When you do land skill shots, it's a much different game. As Heimerdinger comes down from the windmill, I land Charm successfully. This lets me hit Orb of Deception without him dodging. Between Foxfire and Spirit Rush, I clean up Heimerdinger extremely quickly and start to capture the point. For runes, I take magic penetration marks, ability power per level seals, ability power per level glyphs, and flat ability power quintessences. This build is aimed at giving me the greatest possible magic damage at all stages of the game. My masteries are 2109, taking all the magic damage and ability power increasing masteries in offense, while taking bonus mana, mana regeneration, and increased neutral buff duration in utility. I take Ignite and Flash for summoner spells in Classic, subbing out Flash for Ghost in Dominion. In either case, I master all my summoner spells in their respective trees. In Classic, I open up with a Sapphire Crystal and 2 health potions. I upgrade quickly to Catalyst the Protector and grab Boots of Speed before upgrading further to Rod of Ages and Sorcerer's Shoes. I then start major ability power purchases through Rabadon's Deathcap, Will of the Ancients, and if required, Void Staff. I then buy a Lichbane and consider selling Rod of Ages for Rylith's Crystal Scepter. In Dominion, I take a similar build, but open with Prospector's Ring and Boots of Speed while skipping the Rod of Ages. I follow the same path as before, taking Rabadon's Deathcap, Will of the Ancients, and seeing if I need Void Staff to combat my opponent's magic resist. Like in Classic, I also take Lichbane and Rylith's Crystal Scepter. Thanks for tuning in to the Ahri Champion Spotlight. Please subscribe to the Riot Games YouTube channel above, and don't forget to thumbs us up just below the video.